Bursting blues with a laugh in my eye. Shades of wonder got me on a high. We spin stories in purple and gold. Girls got colors nobody can hold. We mix it up, we make it new. Splash it in bold, that's how we do. Running on fun, we won't slow down. Paint the town, turn it upside down. Push out my favorite traffic jam. Color like a fool, yeah, you know who I am. Dreams on the canvas, magic in my head. Painting out loud, I don't care where I live. Like a fool, splashing wild, breaking the rules. Like a fool, like a fool, like a fool. Every line, every you. Welcome to the dream team, the brush out.
You, Lord, for steak on my table. Glory to your name for every bite so flavor. Seasoned with mercy, grilled by your favor. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh, blessed be your name. Oh, oh, blessed be your flame. Sizzling joy, joy in every mouthful. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh, blessed be your name. Oh, oh.
Larry, what are you doing?
You, Lord, for steak on my table. Glory to your name for every bite so flavor. Seasoned with mercy, grilled by your favor. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh, blessed be your name. Oh, oh, blessed be your flame. Sizzling joy, joy in every mouthful. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, oh, blessed be your name. Oh, oh.
What a way to start the show. Larry. Nonsensical Larry. Like a fool. Given like a fool. He did it for the science. That's what it was. Give What? Why?
Fried chicken, till my heart's desire.
I think I need to take the menu off the channel. Maria, I forgot to put your face on there. I'm so sorry. I haven't gotten around to putting you on the menu yet. But don't think that you ain't a snack just because you're not there. So sorry. But let's switch it over to the brush hour. Larry, thank you for your crazy generosity. What the flippity doo-dah? What the fwig, Koopa? As they say on the Big Bang Theory. Grape says, now I want steak and eggs for breakfast. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you. And yes, like you said, join the Patreon. What a great commercial for the Patreon. Today is Motivation Monday, as well as Makeover Monday or Monday Makeover, however you want to word that, over on my Patreon, where if you are a member and you have some interest in improving your artwork, I do have a chat section where you can upload your picture and I'll have a gander at it and give you my educated experience, know-how, and give you some insight on how you can improve your artwork. I've had good comments, good feedback from that particular chat, but there is a free one available. So if you're an artist or an aspiring artist, you can always put your stuff over there. It's a judgment-free zone, and we have a good time over there. Thank you. Yes, join the Patreon. Got some wonderful people over there. I know we're always getting hungry over there. Cheap snack. Hey, but you know what the most beloved snacks are, Maria? The cheap ones. The cheap ones. You're just here with your sparkling person, as always. Fantastic. Mando says steak and eggs. Peak. The secret menu. We could have a secret menu. We'll figure that out. Thanks for the idea. iCannel good morning. We're just kind of going backwards here. Kevin Tino is here. We said fantastic, Mando. Maria. Spider is here. Grape over on the kick side. We're going backwards here. DL was here with everything and the kitchen sink available to YouTube members. And the brush has the power. Yes. So I think I got everybody. And of course, there's our dear lurkers everywhere. Let me get my screen up here. So to get into it, because I'm a little bit flabbered, my gastids are flabbered. Thanks for your generosity. What a way to start Monday. Motivation Monday. I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will, you know. Quick couple of things. If you have something that motivated you this past week going into this week, I want to hear about it. I did my stretches today, which didn't happen last week, but they help motivate me where it's like last week I was not motivated to do as many stretches. And so today I started off strong. So it's like my lack of motivation from last week has inspired me this week. But things that happened last week, oh my gosh, that inspire me for this week, or what is motivating you today? I will say that I wasn't feeling the best 100% yesterday. And I think that's because I ate McDonald's the day before, and it has taught me a valuable lesson going forward. But I feel much better today, and feeling better makes me the most motivated. I hate being unproductive, and so even though Sunday's supposed to be a day of rest, which it was, I still like to do things. Like, it's kind of funny because, like, my hobby, if you will, because it's kind of like work, well, it is work, but like drawing and artistic endeavors is also a way that I enjoy my life and relax, even though sometimes it can be stressful, but it's just how it is. But so, my lack of doing anything has motivated me to get a lot accomplished. I've got a whole list here. I don't know, if there's a I need to save this for hey, let me write this down because Grape always be when we're gaming. He always uses the point system to gain insight into my life. I have suspicions that Grape is planning to kidnap me or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding, Grape. But he redeems the points for facts about Tabitha, and I've just written down one. I can't share it with you until we redeem those points, but those only work for the gaming stream. So don't use them now. There we go. We'll save it. Gaming, I might be gaming tonight. I don't know if I'll be doing it solo or not because I believe Sevi had to change plans, so no carrying the glass tonight, but maybe we'll do something else. We had a fun round with the Duck Detective, I think, on Friday. I think that was fun. It was different, and there is another game available, so I'm thinking about getting that one. And it was fun. If not, I have a whole bunch of other games that people gifted to me, so I need to work my way through that. I was gonna play the LA Noire game that was gifted to me, but unfortunately, it requires me to link my Steam account to, like, this other platform thing, and when I was reading, like, the pros and cons between it, it just seemed a little suspicious, and I hate that somebody spent their hard-earned money for me to play this game, but it just wasn't I have to do some more research into it to see if this is a route I need to go because, like I said, it said permanently. That was like permanent links this to whatever, and so I just have to see if that's a good thing or not. I'm not the best person with the know-how when it comes to platforms and all this kind of stuff. So, maybe I'll just hire a lawyer that we all kind of tend to love and know and see if she can read the fine print for me and be like, what am I missing here? Here's my general understanding of this. What am I missing? What's going on here? Plus, she also knows she knows these companies better than I do. She might Sevi Coffee sometime about Sevi. She might be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's good. Everybody does that." And then he'd be like, "No, no, no, don't." Yeah. Duck Detective was fun to watch. Of course, there's always Star Trekker. I know. I do need to get back into Star Trekker. We're gonna work on it. We're working on it. You're not feeling the best. Did you also have the Mickey D's? Yeah, I hate that McDonald's makes us feel like bad. Makes us feel bad now. I don't like it. I don't like it. I love when I know she goes hardcore, man. No worries, it was on sale. I got it too, and I didn't know it was doing that. I won't be playing it now until I speak with that same. Yeah, it's just because it's like transferring data and then locking into another platform. And when they use the scary word of permanently. And I was also reading the cons where if you wanted to undo this combo, that it's very difficult to work with customer service and all the other stuff. So I was like, okay, before I dedicate this to that, let me do some more research on this. So it's, all this kind of, you're saving up your points? Of course, of course. All right, let's bring in the person of whom we all came to see today. That would be Prince Adam, the master of the universe in progress. Here he is. So, we were talking about memberships and patrons and all this kind of stuff. What's cool when you're a part of this community is that I throw polls out there. So for the subscribers, for the dream stream, and then for for the subscribers, for the dream team, the members, and then for the patrons over there as well. And so you guys have helped me to compile this. So we are, let me see, I forgot what the subscriber one was. For the poll, it obviously had to do with He-Man, but I forget specifically. It had to do with, if I drew He-Man in Chibi style, what would he be doing? 68% said wielding his sword heroically. I love the fact that 15% said eating a cake and 13% said playing with a cute animal. Too bad that didn't pan out. And then the dream team said I asked what kind of expression he should have, and 60% said laughing and mischievous. So we're still working on the face, but I think he looks pretty impish in my personal opinion. And then 20% said angry or determined, which is so funny. And then over on Patreon, it was really funny too, because it didn't turn out, the secret ingredient, if you will, to our character today is, what special detail should I include in my Chibi He-Man drawing? And 67% said, out of the options that, let me put it this way, out of the options that were available, it was Tiny Gray Skull Castle, Skeletor Cameo, flowers, or cute decor. And 67% said a snack or a drink. So, I think, so somehow, I have to include a snack or a drink in this creation. So I have an idea. I have the power of imagination to figure out how. I think I'm going to do a drink. And my idea is that once I complete the drawing itself, as far as like get the full concept flowing, then I will slap him on like a Taco Bell cup or something, or a McDonald's cup. You remember back in the day where we would have like the most amazing branding for upcoming movies and shows and stuff like that. And they would be on those collector cups and stuff like that. So I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe, a movie theater cup of some kind. I think that would be kind of cool. What? Heavy Rain Steam's keys are being given out on February 18th, but the catch is having a Lenovo account and linking it to your Steam account. Normally it costs around 18, does not come with. Okay, see, a lot of that stuff, I have no idea what I have no idea what exactly is happening. And so, Larry, what are you doing? I have been gifted the second edition of The Duck Detective, The Secret Salami. All right, coming soon. Okay, so I got a book, which was also a gift that has a lot of Chibi references in it, and they had these really bulky, manly Chibis in there. So I used that to help with our character over here, and then I altered it quite a bit because it didn't look quite right. And so I thought this was a pretty heroic pose. Like he's getting ready to smash things up. And then I do think he has quite the mischievous face. Now, it is very different from a lot of what I really do, because most of the time they're standing upright. And so I'm working on incorporating new kinds of movements to the characters. And so they will look very off to me. And then I am giving his hair a lot of flamboyancy. But when I look at the He-Man cartoons, like even when he's in the thick of it, his hair doesn't really move. So I think that I've added too much wind, too much flair, too much volume to his hair to be recognized as Prince Adam, aka He-Man. But although apparently in Masters of the Universe Revelation, he does have a lot more volume. So we're kind of going with that. Kind of going with that. I don't know if this would be recognizable as He-Man. Again, I'm still kind of working on some stuff. I think his eyes might be they might be a little off. So we'll get to crack-a-lackin'. Hang on. This is his here we go. That's his outfit there. And we fixed his bangs to try to make them look a little bit I had them a little too long and wispy, but his iconic bangs there, that's something that really sells, his bob haircut with his bangs. Who would have thought that a man in a bob would be like attractive, which I think I like the Masters of the Universe Revelation appearance much better than I do the OG, but that's just me personally. It also reminds me of the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, and I love that. I'm like, man, that should have been a really cool live action TV show, or they should just bring it back as a cartoon. But yeah, creative choice, exactly. So as long as we can recognize this as He-Man, then that's good. We got the thick thighs that save lives, and kind of working on the sword. I was actually on Maria's channel last week while I was working on this. So, but here we are. So I do think he's got quite the mischievous face. I'm looking at his eyes over here, and I think that I want to reshape them. So I'm going to duplicate this and then get rid of that. And we're going to change them up a little bit just to see. I like these. They kind of, I don't know. I think they look well. How actually, what if we they kind of, well, he kind of needs the but it still will need to have this cutout for him to be kind of like smiling. So maybe we try that. And we'll go this way. But yeah, I hope everybody had a nice weekend. Ready for Hot Take Tuesday tomorrow. We'll be bringing it. Yeah, I probably should have done this on a different layer, but it's fine. Here we go. So let's clean this up and just get rid of some of this stuff. And we'll see if we can bring He-Man to life. I've been doing some research on He-Man because I was telling Maria in her chat last week that I don't really know a lot about He-Man. I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up. And he looks a little too, I feel like, I think his eyes were maybe they're a little too anime. Maybe that's what it is. He looks a little more sadistic now, though. I don't know if I like that. Cool. I mean, if you want to join me, I think, let's see. I do have a work trip planned soon. No, but next week, if you want to join me on Brush Hour, let me know, Maria. Let me know. Hot take for tomorrow, 100%. Bring it. I'm ready. I don't know if that was, I think because it's also, it's the red, it kind of is terrible. Maybe we change this up a little bit. I'm using the pencil thing, so the pixels are not all together. So I'll just do what we can. Well, he does look mischievous. Maybe we should just go with it. Hang on. Let's get rid of that and get this. I don't like the newer version. We're going to stick with what we have. Your tag team with Maria on her stream was gold. Good. I'm glad. Maria spends way too much time drawing on her channel, so I'm glad we could bring some entertainment to it. She just her priorities are a little wonky over there on her channel. So, all right, let's try to figure out this foot. Let's see, Turn that off. All right, so let's get his boots. His boots. All right, let's look at them. All right, so good. You needed to hear it. Okay, that wasn't a subtle rebuke. That was a full-blown chastisement. Okay. Oops. Let's turn off Drawing Assistant and figure out how we are gonna. Prince Adam's shoes are kind of well. They need to be big too, because this is it's for like foreshortening. Like it's coming at me, but his shoes are kind of weird. So that's also because he's very muscular. So trying to figure out how to do a muscular foot coming at me is very difficult because he gets like these tiny ankles, and then like I think I don't know. I don't have a proper reference. Let's see. His leg, I think his leg is turned in too much, but that was kind of the reference that I had. Maria is definitely worth more than French fries, but I don't know about onion rings. You know, it's like that. What's your favorite kind of French fry? I do love crinkle fries, but I love curly fries, man. Like Cajun curly fries. Ugh, that is where it's at. I think we might just need to change the shape of the. Oops. Let's try this. I'm gonna go here. Oh, I'm doing it on the wrong layer. It's fine. It's fine. Going in with confidence. Here we go. Confidence. I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. All right. Yeah, maybe we do like a swooshy shoe situation because he's also got like they're boots, but they're like flapjack boots here, you know. I mean, I know that his foot is not the main character, but we needed to make sense. So it's the science. You got to make the shoes make sense. But it is kind of funny when you're doing like these caricatures how you can exaggerate things so they look cool. Yeah. I think that looks a little bit better. I think it was turned in too far. The fact that I'm doing it in red is disconcerting. I think I need to stick with the blue because it just sticks out way too much. Hang on. Let me try something that I've never done before. Here we go. We're going to do that. And oh, cool. Okay, let's turn it blue. Okay, let's turn up the brightness and see if we can't find something like make it kind of match a little bit. It's a little bit more on the green. Yeah, it's close enough. That worked out really well, except that I changed the fringe, but we don't care about the fringe. I think that looks, somewhat better. It's not perfect. We're still figuring it out. Happy that Seahawks avenged the Super Bowl loss, but I do not know who plays for them. I have no idea who plays for them either. Steak or seasoned curly fries. I do love the fact that we could just make potatoes in any way, shape, or form, and it's all good. I mean, for real, it's just all good. Do we need to flatten this? Maybe. French fries are amazing. I do love good French fries. I don't know. This foot is going to be the bane of my existence. I can already tell. Maybe his foot is too far forward. Let's go back. Nope, too far. Maybe I'm just focusing too much on it, and then once it's colored, it won't be as big as a deal as I'm making it. But, that looks better. That's amazing. That slight difference, just a slight change in shape and size can make all the difference. Mo seeing a potato not boiled. I know, he can't help himself. Exactly, we're putting our best foot forward. Alright, so the sword is just kind of in its basic shape at the moment, and so I know that it needs to be very, prominent, like, it's He-Man, it's his sword, so I've gotta let's look at this example here. So it's kinda got, like, these bulbs on the edges of it. It's got I think I'm gonna do this on a separate layer in red, so it does stand out. Poutine is still something I would like to taste. Shout out to Canadians. I mean, I don't know, the idea that there's cheese curd on it does not sound appealing to me whatsoever. Um, I don't know, that just doesn't sound tasty at all to me. But it's french fries and gravy, heck yeah, man, like, I'll eat some french fries and gravy, but, like, the cheese curd part, it's very off-putting, very off-putting. Alright. Let's see, maybe like this? Do, 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 do. Okay, so there's kind of that there, and then in this section, in this corner so what I think I need to do is, get the drawing guide on, symmetry, and then we have to rotate it. So, let's see. Where are you at? There you are. Alright, let's see if we can find the center. And we can always rotate it if we have to, but this way we would get something how dare you besmirch I can't help it! Look, I don't mind cheese with, like, the cracker, I don't mind mozzarella, but, like, most cheeses just gross me out. So gross. I don't even know what kind of cheese goes on poutine, but I do know that cheese in and of itself is disgusting to me, which I wish that I wasn't, let's see. I wish I wasn't like that, but I can't help it. It's so gross to me. Alright, so now we've got this. Um, so it kinda bevels. Hang on. So then it has, like, these and we wanna exaggerate it a little bit because of the fact that it's the almighty sword, right? But let's see. So then we do something like this, and we get the little bulbs again. Okay, we're on the right track. Shout out to the drawing guide. And so from here then, it would need to come in to something like this, but I don't think it's long enough. In fact, I think that's a little bit too much of a broad sword. So we can always fix that, but that's looking better, right? That kinda looks really cool this way. But let's get rid of this part. Let's clean it up a little bit here. Ooh. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Then you're not the only person I know who dislikes cheese. I know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Uh, fantastic, but I just see, this looks good, chili fries and all that stuff, but, like nachos, what a clever I just don't like cheddar cheese, man, and melted cheese, ugh. The flavor's okay, I don't like the texture, that's the thing, most cheeses taste pretty good. I actually had cow cheese the other day with cracker, and it was very good. I just the texture, the consistency, I cannot eat a lot of it, and especially if it's melted, it's so disgusting to me. Um, I can't handle it. Okay, so then we've got this thing. Let's see. Let's see if we can alright, let's turn it this way and see if we can so then we go this way? Oh, no, it goes out to the okay. It goes out to here, and then we bring it in, Look out. Bring it in. Hey. Okay. Oh, wait. And then there's cutouts here. Like little crescent moony things. And then we go all the way here. And we'll make these lines cleaner. But that, I mean, that's the sword, right? It's not an exceptionally long sword. It is rather short. I mean, what I also could do, if I wanted to, let's bring this up a little bit, is, whoops, let's reset. I could make this bigger like that. But I think that might be disproportionate. Hang on, let's try. Yeah, it would have to be in the center. I mean, that's pretty cool. It does need to be exaggerated, right? Let's look at that again. Maybe if I make it a little smaller, what if I... No, it's got to be in the middle of this thing. I kind of like it. But people know this about me, DL. Like cheese, it's just gross. It tastes good, but it's just gross. I mean, I could open with that tomorrow if you remind me. Chili mac? See, that sounds good though. I do like macaroni and cheese as long as it's not Velveeta. I gotta just, it's the powdered stuff, man. That's where I'm at. The powdered stuff. And then you could put all, or homemade. The homemade stuff's not bad as long as it's nice and crunchy in the oven. And you can put like bacon or mushrooms and onions in there. It's good stuff. Good stuff. My friend who did not like cheese didn't care much for dairy at all, except for ice cream. No, no, no. I like milk and I use heavy whipping cream to make whipped cream. I love butter. No, I don't have a problem with pretty much any other dairy option. I just don't like milk, cheese. All right. So let's take the drawing guide off. I mean, overall, I think, oh, I might need to fix his other boot, but I think I have what I need for He-Man. I am going to attempt to do some, high shadows and stuff like that in here, but let's see if we can't fix this boot over her. And let's figure it out. Hey, it's R2 the Icky. What is up, man? How are you? How is the family? How is little Spidey doing? How are the doggies? How are you? How are you is the real question. Let's get rid of this. I don't know anything about He-Man, sort of, R2. So if you see something wrong, it's blame my parents. It's, it's just how it is. I don't know. I kind of like this idea where he's got kind of slightly pointed shoes, only because it gives this idea of how the fabric is, right? It's not like I'm trying to make him into an elf or anything like that, but I feel like that just kind of gives like more of an idea, like I said, that it's more loose fabric, which seems to be the way that his shoe is with the cartoon here. It looks a little bit better. I don't want to focus too much on the details of shoes. Let's get rid of this. When we really want to amplify the sword and his face and everything like that. So let's get rid of our concept art for the sword here so it doesn't throw us off. With Caventina, with that story, I blame the people that were monitoring her. Okay, because you can't like whoever was teaching her how to make macaroni and cheese failed if that's the case. So it's not really the student, it's the teacher. I don't care who it is. I'll say it to their faces. If Sevi's mac and cheese from last year made people feel sickish, then something went wrong in the instruction process. Not Sevi's fault. Because if Sevi doesn't know how to make macaroni and cheese, then you can't expect her to make good food in that department. I don't know. I mean, he looks pretty tough to me. I'm good. We're still good. Little Spidey is not so little these days. Mrs. R2 is good. The doggies are good, and I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm doing really great, R2. I appreciate you and your family. They've always been really great. I still have little Spidey sticker in my Bible and that little blue book down there. And I think about you guys. I keep up with the missus on the Instagram when she posts him doing his amazing school stuff. You guys are never far from my mind. Hope everything is well with you and continues to do so. Happy 2026 to you and yours. Grape says, my friend who didn't care much for dairy liked jelly and he liked peanut butter, but not together. Yeah, some people are weird. What can you say? Some people are a lost cause, Grape. What are you gonna do? Just kidding. Everybody's got their preferences. You know, it's funny how it works in life with humans where a majority of us like a certain something or a certain lot of things. And then there's that one person that's like, I can't stand it. You know, it's like when you meet a young person who can't stand pizza or hamburgers, you're like, what the? But it's okay to be different, but it is quite a shocker, and humans aren't like they're not really comfortable with the idea of different. It's so funny how we are in society today, especially with wokeism and whatever, where it's all about uniqueness and no labels, and they're so obsessed with labels, at the same time, and then being unique is not unique anymore, because if you look like everybody else, you're not unique, right? Sorry to break it to you, but if you've gotta go around telling people how unique you are, you're not really unique because a mass majority of people are you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just banana bread. Nice, but nothing to make a fuss over. Oh, yes. Wing hugs. Throwback Monday. Wing hugs. Good times. It's National Pizza Day, too. Oh, pizza. That sounds amazing. Okay. Focus, Leonard. Okay. I think that overall, so I've got the chest piece that he's wearing, and we've got the sword, and he's got this loincloth thing with a slight belt, and we've got boots. And we also have the braces. Is that what these wristbands that he's wearing? So I think overall we have everything for Mr. Mastery of the Universe. So as long as you get the sword, the hair, and the chest plate accurate, then all the interpretation is good. Right. Thank you. So zucchini bread, I've never had it. I know Nomi makes it. Maybe I should ask her to make some when she's here. We're going to be discussing our Raccoon Island trip, by the way. I know we kind of joked about it and whatever, but no, Nomi and I have actually, like, there is a place here in Florida that where there's an abundance of the raccoons. And we really, really want to go. Plus, we want to have like a whole fun trip and everything like that planned. We want to film and make content and stuff like that. So, you know, we joke around about it a lot, but it's because it's a reality. Like we want it to be a reality. So, you know, check in on that for Raccoon. We're going to be talking about it. She might be coming back to Florida, so we can have a whole trip planned. We might be trying to get some other friends to join us. Girls trip to Raccoon Island. What do girls really want? We don't want diamonds and tiaras and shoes. No. We want to go on a girls trip to go see a bunch of crazed, greedy, dirty raccoons and feed them PB&J sandwiches. That's in our heart. All right. So the thing that I like about this character is that he has flowing hair. It looks like it's in motion. It looks very dynamic. But my problem is that I don't think that the hair looks like He-Man. And that is what's breaking my heart, is that I think I need to change his hair. So that being said, we're going to duplicate once again. I'm going to get rid of this layer and we're going to redesign his hair so that perhaps it will look a lot more like Prince Adam. Adam Ant. Wrong Adam, but it's fine. All right, let's get rid of these hair. I don't think the bangs are the problems. The problem is now that I've gotten rid of his head, so I don't have a great idea of where everything needs to be. So we're just going to have to wing it, you know. My sister didn't understand why YouTubers record themselves doing things. I told her it's all about the content. Yeah, you know what's dumb is, like, for people like me that use digital, whatever reason, I think just because of human contact and whatever, but people will film themselves drawing on a digital tablet. Like, will film drawing on the digital tablet, whereas, like, I've showed many times, like, Procreate has the option where you can export the time lapse, but people wanna see you in the process of making it. It's funny. Um it's just how it is. They wanna see the human interaction of what it was like, you know? And then YouTubers doing stuff because especially after 2020, it's the vicarious living, man. Like, people have convinced themselves they're either too poor, too stupid, too lonely, or too scared to leave their houses and explore the world ever since especially since 2020. So, YouTubers got on top of that and was like, "I'll give you the experience of the world, and basically you'll pay me to go live a lifestyle that you wish you could live," you know? A lot of times the simplest adventures don't cost that much money, they just require some time and you'd be surprised that just going to a different restaurant, or driving, an hour further for your favorite sandwich, could be the most fun that you have. It doesn't take much to have a simple adventure in life. Yep, trash pandas. That's what the raccoons are. There was a recent report that raccoons are developing more domesticated traits, and in the next 30 to 50 years could become. Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard this. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, nice. Why in the world would you go see Maria though? No, I'm sure it's beautiful up there. Beautiful up there. I've been there, like, twice. Oh, well, I say twice, Toronto. I've been to Canada twice. Like, one time was Niagara Falls. I don't know if that really counts because we literally just went across the border and, we saw the touristy stuff and then we left. Yeah, it doesn't count. Alright, hair. Okay, so Prince Adam. Let's get the drawing guide back up here, and I need to is there a reset? How do you reset? Uh, reset. Aha! Okay. Let's see. This is gonna be fun. Okay, we're onto something here, but his head, it needs to be there needs to be more. It's because of the fact that see, this is what makes it really hard for me. This has definitely been quite the practice session because it's drawing chibis in a different perspective, so I have to think so his head's kinda down like this, sort of, so there would be a lot more of his head. So I have to use myself. This is ridiculous. I think there are other things at play here that are disproportionate, and that's why it looks weird. I don't think that I did the face exactly correct, but let's just try something here. Let's just try, yeah, like this. We'll play around with it. Let's see what we're doing here. I think it is looking a little bit more like him this way. Let's get rid of the bangs are on a different layer, so that makes sense. I need to duplicate this, get rid of that. I don't think it would have been so much a problem, but we're trying to see if we can make sure that he's recognizable as He-Man. So the bangs are quite the staple piece for him. Um, so they would be out in in full measure. It's such a stupid haircut. uh oh, 6 hours. See, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Okay. I don't you know what? I think because of the time that I'm given, We're gonna oh no, did I get rid of his head? Oh no, did I get rid of his bangs? No, they're there. Don't panic. It's fine. Oh my gosh, we almost had a conniption fit. I think we're gonna stick with the more voluminous hair. The Prince Valiant haircut, it's a terrible haircut. Maybe wait, maybe if we I'm gonna duplicate this again. What if, let me get rid of these bangs here. What if we made these bangs a little bit more, you know, he's got the I mean, they come down, right? So let's okay. Let's see if I can cover up my maybe if we made them more squared. That might make him look more like He-Man. I think that is better. And then we would have to kinda do something like this, I think, to let us know, like yeah. I think that's the money piece. I think that's the money piece. Yeah, his hair is pretty simple. I've made it overcomplicated. He gets his powers from his bed. Clearly. Clearly. Like, this is a pretty majestic picture, but that's a more realistic version of him. So we're gonna stick with yeah, we'll stick with this. He had those straight pieces. Okay, so that being said, I don't need that. So we're gonna do another layer, and it's time to get to coloring. So or not coloring, but at least getting the outline. What color should I do for the outline? First, we're gonna switch our pencil over to syrup, which it already is, and then maybe we'll go with this brown color to outline him. I think that would be cool. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Get rid of that. All right, here we go. I mean, you know, he's kind of holding the I don't know. I'm not saying it's my best piece, but it's definitely a learning curve, and I'm okay with that because I mean, I've seen it where they, you know, he's kind of holding it and he's looking up and I don't know. It's I'm trying to see. All right, walk with me. Like he's kind of holding the and his shoulders would be much bigger than mine, so they could be covering up his ears. Plus, his hair is covering. I think it'll work, and it's fine. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Okay. I don't like the size. Here we go. Let's see. I really like the way this already looks, so I'm like trying to make sure that I stick. Yeah, I don't like that. Uh-oh, do I need a different? No, let's just trust the process. I don't like that either. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect, but there's something about this line work that's bothering me. It's too thick everywhere. Try not to take it too seriously, you know, because that's where the fun gets taken out. It's coming along. It's coming along, you know. Yeah, I would use a highly what is it? I would use a highly articulated He-Man action figure to get the pose right. I ain't spending money on that. I don't even know if they have that. Let's see. And we'll clean up the lines here and there. Because I kind of wanted his hair to have movement. I didn't like that it was just so stagnant, right? So we're trying to give him some work here. We're trying to make him a L'Oreal model, like Thoriel. Amelia John, I am good. How are you? Happy Monday to you. We are in the process of trying to draw He-Man as a chibi. It's an interesting it's an interesting it's interesting. It's all I can say. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You know, we got a cool looking sword. I can't wait to color it. Does it glow? Or does He-Man glow when he's using it? Is that how that works? I don't really know much about He-Man, so thank you. Thank you. I am an artist by trade. I do quite a bit of work. You know, if I wanted to like brag on myself a little bit, here's, you know, a couple other pieces that I've done. You know, some of these are inside jokes. Nevertheless, they display my talents, my skills. It is what it is, you know. It's who I am. It's what I do. dreamingtabitha@gmail.com if you're interested in any custom artwork, custom pieces. Yes, yes. I can hook you up. I can help you out. Would be my pleasure. Anyway. Hey, Reese. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You missed a lot today? Oh, man. From French fries to He-Man's hair. I mean, does it get any better than that on a Monday on YouTube and Kick? All right. So I don't really like this piece of hair over here, but I'm going to leave it because, you know, not everything's perfect, right? I do always like to have an element of imperfection because that's just reality. It keeps you humble. And it just, again, it just makes things look a little bit more realistic in my personal opinion. All right. We're drawing these muscles. Let's maybe get a wider. I need to do what Maria does and a study of arms and anatomy and the muscles. I just don't feel like it, but I think it would benefit me greatly. So that, you know, when I do these kinds of drawings, they would look a little, I don't know. I mean, these are some meaty arms he's got going on here. So the forearms here or whatever, there's something about them that's off. I'm not really happy with them. But again, it's like the end of the day, I want the face and the sword to be the piece, right? I don't recall the power sword glowing. The power of Castle Grayskull did come out of it, though. Okay. Learned only in the past few years that there was a Spanish lyrics to He-Man. I don't even know what the He-Man theme song is. See, I'm such a newbie noob to all of this. So, and then we've got our bracelets. I know they're not bracelets. Don't come for me, but at the same time, they're braces, right? Bracelets. They're smaller. Okay, so then the sword. We just kind of add this for good measure. Let's make that a little smaller. I don't know if I need. See, this is what makes it really something like that. It works. It works. Thanks for the follow, Lucas. Welcome in. I think that puts us at 460 followers on Kick. Something like that. Appreciate it. We're going ever onwards and upwards. All right. Okay. So we've got our loincloth pieces. Whatever you want to call it. And we'll get these bigger pieces for the legs, for these ham hocks. What did I do here? I just kind of like let loose. I don't know what I did here, but there we go. It's amazing what that little line will do. Hey, Psychotic Mongoose, how are you? You are a member for 2 months here on the Dream Stream. Thank you. I appreciate you. How have you been? How is life treating you. I hope it's treating you kindly, and I hope that if it's not treating you kindly, you're still determined to keep going, fulfilling your dreams, doing whatever it is that keeps you psychotic in a positive way. I'm really good. I'm happy with this coming along. Once again, for those that don't know, my patrons and my YouTube members help. Psychotic Mongoose, since you're a member, did you vote on this? Were you part of the people that decided he needed to have like this mischievous laughing face? Was that one of you, or did you vote for something else? No, you're not supposed to technically ask people what they vote for, but this is a little different. It's not political. So just curious, what did you vote for if you did? For our fellow here. You did vote? Okay. Because some people wanted him like, what was it, laughing, or they wanted him thinking or confused, laughing, angry, or celebrating and cheerful. So it's just always curious. There we go. Lines make everything better, you know. Tabitha, does your patron have month to month only, or do you have an annual option as well? I'll be honest about that. I don't know. From what I understand, Patreon typically is a month to month. I don't know that there's I'd have to look into that. Yes, you're right. I try to keep them fun, you know. Yeah, I'll be honest, Larry, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. So usually it's a month to month process. I've not heard of anybody else. Maybe, I don't know. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it seems like there should be an option for that, but I don't know. All right, I'll have to look into that. Okay, maybe I should use the smaller. Here we go. I'm going to use the smaller one for the further away fur. Not really sure what's going on here. I think because I have. We don't need to draw the rest of that. What, DL? You didn't know if you voted on it? Shameful. The world's never going to change if you don't get out and vote. Okay. At least they put the cross back on He-Man's chest armor again in the new live action. Oh, did they change it? What did they change it to in the cartoon? So it was the cross pattern, and then they changed it to something else. Oh, like a lightning bolt or something. I think I'm going to do the sword on a separate layer and a different outline color. So I think, oh, we got to go into here. What is inspiring you to draw He-Man? So what is inspiring me to draw He-Man is because the movie is coming out, and it's a great way, honestly, to get content on my channel to try to gain new followers and grow the dream team and all this kind of stuff. The dream stream. I get confused. Dream team, dream stream. But it's an attempt to honestly to grow and be relevant. While I enjoy making art for my content that I want to make, it is a nice way to grow my skill level while providing stuff for, I say stuff. It's a great way to grow my skill level while also providing content that people enjoy and can relate to. So I myself did a little bit of research on He-Man, so I made some videos for it. I'm just going to make some artwork that goes along with it. If you've seen some of my other videos in my shorts, that's what I do, or at least what I started doing. I did a lot on, or I did several ones on, let's see, Scotland, and I did art pieces on, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Let me see, because some of my shorts are just little snippets that I've done from the show, but there have been many times where I did movies, many times where I did shorts or videos on particular subjects like the Escape the Backrooms and where that came from, and then also being a K-pop idol and the history of being a K-pop star. Cracker Barrel, when that whole fiasco was going, some of you might have seen my artwork from Cracker Barrel and Scotland and anime and popcorn. The Mandalorian, I did one for Cara Dune, all these kinds of different things. So that's kind of where it comes from, and I like being able to get my chat to help me. So what is inspiring you to draw He-Man, Tabitha, is pretty much the audience. It's a great way to get content on the channel, to gain new followers, and also to showcase my artwork in a way that I enjoy as well. They changed it to an H. Oh, okay. That's weird. All right. Let me get this going. You know, actually, let me get the drawing assist back on. Moment of silence for the artist. Hmm? Nope. There we go. Okay. And then okay, so then we got to do his. All right, it's fine. Oops. We're gonna do his belts, and we'll get rid of those lines here in just a second. And then this, I think, was this. Wait, what am I doing here? That was his belt, and then that's his loincloth, I guess. Oh, I drew the crotch because I needed a reference. So, but his belt is pretty wide, so let's just make it a little wider here for the sake of the drawing. And then his belt, does it have something on it? Okay, these pictures aren't showing me his belt. This one shows that he doesn't have anything but like extra line on it. So we'll be true to that. Keep it simple. And then this all in here in this particular section is just going to be the fur from his cloth there. And then we just want the indication of the abs. But he's kind of hunched over, so they're not going to be quite as prominent. Okay, so let's get the face. It's kind of a weird nose. It's a little bit better. All right, draw that. Let's see. I gotta draw it this way. Maybe we can have a disconnect. Let me turn the drawing assist off real quickly. There we go. Turn it back on. I can just round these out here. Yeah, he looks very mischievous here. I mean, like, dare I say, we're on the verge of evil. But that's what they wanted. That's what the crowd wanted. That's what the crowd gonna get. Hang on, let's see. Okay, and then we do the eyes separately. Okay. Maybe it's because they're not full circles or something like that, but here we go. These should be black but we'll change that later. But let's go back to this layer here, and we'll turn off the drawing assist so we can clean up these areas. Whoops. Clean up the areas that don't match on the other side because one arm is going forth more than the other. And you can see all these little teeny lines that are in here. I don't, I'm going to clean some of them out. Some of them are okay. Like when it comes to the hair, other times not so much. Like it's not so bad with the fur, but I don't want it to be too prominent. And we just clean up little lines wherever we see that needs be cleaning. Here we go. Oh my goodness. The real Wade Nation Gaming Recap. Hi! I'll make sure I say that correctly. Are there still openings for commissions? Meant to get in line for one last week, but got busy and forgot like an idiot. I do. I have one slot left. And so if you email me at dreamingtabitha@gmail.com, tell me what it is that you're looking for, and I will let you know if I can give you what you request. I have pretty much my portfolio is all here. You can see all the artwork that I do, or you can see it on Twitter, or you can see it on Instagram, and I'm working on upgrading that more and more. I can make alterations to my style, but I always I try to tell people that, when you're hiring me or when you're hiring an artist, just because somebody is an artist doesn't mean that they can do everything or draw in every style. You can try to accommodate and copy as best as you can, but what it is that I draw is pretty much what I provide, with some variations. I just recently had somebody that had asked me if I could make it look a little grittier, if I could make it look a little bit more like a Batman comic. And so my attempts, I did it, and the client was very happy with what I created, but it still has that element of cutesiness in it because of the fact that I do predominantly draw chibis. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want me to try to change some elements here and there and adapt to other art styles, just be aware that artists can do this, but there are limitations. So like I said, just because I'm an artist and I can draw and I can color and I can do it fairly well doesn't mean that I can draw, anime in the same capacity, because the proportions and things like that are very different. It's not impossible, but it could be slower going too, also depending on the time frame that you need your project completed. So, all right, what was I going to do? I was cleaning up. Yes, and I appreciate that, DL. Thank you. It was a fun project to work on. I also offer not just digital, but I also do tangible. I did, like DL was saying, I did a commission for him that was on paper with pen and ink and coloring pencils. And then I did one last year, at the end of last year, for a MegaCon, I guess, because it's just on my mind, but I did one for a Transformer. I think I was thinking of Megatron, but I did an Optimus Prime chibi in ink and in coloring pencil. Okay, so, there it is, cleaning up here. Because eyebrows don't go through your hair, they didn't do that. They don't do that. But they make for really great gifts. I've also done customized ones for people, like if they wanted me to do one of themselves, of a family member. It's a really great way to give a gift that's unique. It's a great way to support, as we had talked about, the artistic ecosystem that is slowly dying. That's a way to preserve it. Here we go. Okay, so then we're going to do a separate layer. And I think that I'm looking at his sword, and it's like a silver kind of color. So I think I'm actually going to go into the purple realm, maybe a slightly bluish purple color. And I can always change it, but I kind of want to go with this. I want to see what happens. The instincts are kind of are speaking to me. The spidey senses are kind of into it. Fantastic. Says hire her. It's worth it. That means a lot. Thank you. That was a really fun project to work on. I haven't shown it to anybody, fantastic, because I wanted you to be the first person to display it. But that was, I would for my personal use, I would, because when I do these things, also know that when you hire me, I use your image for part of my portfolio just so that I can display what I am able to do. And so some people ask me, like I said, to go out of the bounds of what I typically do, but it still stays within the kind of, it just kind of goes a little bit across the fence, but this still stays really true to what I did. And so, or excuse me, what I do. So just know that, there are some limitations. Some people are just willing to go way out. I just want to make sure that I give you the quality product. Sometimes I go outside of my comfort zone and attempt things I've never done before, but that's how we learn, that's how we grow. And it's been so beneficial in growing my portfolio, and it's given me confidence to try new things. Like some of you, maybe if you follow me on Twitter and things like that. By the way, this was the original He-Man I was attempting. And I mean, the hair's a lot closer, but there was just something so goofy about it. I didn't like it. But where are we at? Here we go. So without a lot of you helping with commissions and asking me to do all kinds of stuff, I would never have gotten to this point. Like, because I've been saying for a really long time, I don't know how to draw animals as chibis and draw them cute. And here I am, and this is probably one of the cutest things that I've ever drawn before. This little fox character that's part of the Canadian Bear children's book that I'm working on. And then I was working on some Hootley art over here. I mean, look at this little guy over here. He's so cute, but he's so angry at the same time. And then that is also led me to be able to draw these Transformer characters. So here's the Optimus Prime that I finished the other day. And, this was not in my wheelhouse either. I draw cutesy things. And so figuring out how to take these metallic, bulky, very square and angular characters and turning them into something that's cute and adorable, but still menacing. Still menacing. And then my favorite one, my boy Rat Trap. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Cole Hauser says. Beast Wars is awesome. Okay, and you tell him I said so. I don't know what he's going on about. So we're in the process of creating some more of those as well. Oh, it's going to be a little while, but yes, I will let everybody know when the Canadian Bear comes out. So, all right, let's finish up this sword. I like this color, but I am going to darken it just a little bit. Yeah. And we can always change the color if we don't like it. But, I got to get the drawing assist back on, but I have to redo the drawing assist. So real quickly, let's see if we can do these again. All right, draw this back down. Here we go. Fortunately, I have the line that's down the center. So let me go here. Let's go. I'm pretty sure that is, nope, hang on. That doesn't go straight down the middle. Oh. So what if I scooch this over? That's pretty close. But then at the bottom, all right, so I need to put this so that's what it is. So if I do this here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn how this works. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a slightly off, but I can always reposition it. So let's do that. There we go. All right. I'm going to attempt something here. Attempt that. Oops, these need to be a little smaller. Yeah, I want some different styled line art here. Makes a difference. And making something look a little more organic, I think, in my personal opinion. All right, make this a little bit bolder. This is the part where it gets a little bit wonky. So hang on a second. What if I... Oop. I think that line's too thick. So here we go. We'll try that. Nope. I'll do that. Like that. There we go. All right. Let's try this piece. I think this needs to be a little thicker. Let's try. I think that, well, that worked out kind of cool. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. And then just kind of play around with the line work. Sorry, once again, moment of silence for the artist. Just kind of play around with that. There we go. I should try doing a series where I attempt to draw book characters based on their descriptions. That would be really cool. I don't know who Orko is. Battle Cat would be cool. I think a Chibi Cringer Battle Cat would be a great companion to He-Man. Yeah, I didn't know. Like I said, at that time, I didn't really know anything about He-Man, so we don't get otherwise people voted, okay? The people spoke, and they did not want a cute character with the He-Man. They wanted the sword, so I gave the people what they wanted. So sorry about that. All right, let's get rid of the sketches here and see what. No. Oh, okay. I was going to say, did I accidentally draw over the. All right, turn the symmetry guide off. Okay. He looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. So then I just have to, the last thing, John is redeemed Water the Artist. Why not? If you hear the construction outside, I am so sorry. They're building like a new house or something like that down the road. And it sucks because, you know, it is what it is. But all I need to do, I probably will fix his eyes a little bit. He does look a little scary here, but I mean, this is what you guys asked for. So that's what I delivered. We have He-Man with his sword. Now the only thing left to do is to slap him on a cup or include a piece of pie or something like that, because the last thing that the voters have decided on is that I need to include a beverage or a snack. And I think I know what I want to do, but we're going to see if that comes to play, if that works out. So far, I like our little He-Man guy. The sword looks pretty amazing. I think you could recognize who this guy is, especially when we get to coloring. And we are going to be able to accomplish that tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, once again for the Brush Hour. I appreciate everybody hanging out and being with me here today. I got a lot of stuff. Did I show you my list? I got a lot of stuff that I have to try to accomplish before the day is done. And I appreciate all of you. I might do some gaming later on. I don't know if I'll have anybody joining me, or if maybe we'll do another solo stream. We shall see. But until next time, everybody, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you all for the support in the many ways that you do that help this channel keep on going and flowing. And I will see everybody later, okay? Instead of swinging a sword, maybe he should swing a cute character. That's not what the people asked for. Sorry, I got to go with the votes. The votes are in. There's no recounts. And it is what it is. But get you some for the science merch, because it's important to live life like a fool, because that's what the science tells us to do. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new here and you enjoy content like this. And until next time, friends.
Thank you for coming to the show here. Please like and subscribe to Tabitha's YouTube channel. You know, YouTube. It's that platform you can go and watch videos. You can watch it on your devices. Please subscribe.
So they're going to try to take these.